please tell your doorman he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I think I have been the one person who has been saying that I found it so much more offensive, the self-righteousness, than the crime itself, if we can get the elephant out of the room right away. And, you know, I was going to ask you, has this been tough on friendships? I know it's tough on your career, tough on your family. But I had a big feud with Chris Matthews because I was criticizing him for criticizing you when he is so in love with John F. Kennedy. And I said, where is the perspective here? What John F. Kennedy did was so much more dangerous and so much more consequential for the nation, and Clinton too. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Well, look, it is hard for me to do any meta-analysis of this thing because I've done so much damage, and frankly, I take responsibility for all the things that I did, and it's hard for me to do analysis of it when I've let so many people down. Look, I did these things. At the final analysis, it's not so much, people can look at it through whatever lens they want. I did them. I wanted to give the voters a chance to hear what I wanted to do for the city, but ultimately the judgment that they passed was that you're wrong, that what I did was pretty bad. And
but even the way you're talking, I did these things, like, it wasn't that awful what you did. This is what I'm saying. There's no perspective in this country. Are you kidding? I mean, you had a hobby that was a little offbeat. You know, I get it. And also the way that people act like, you know, he did it once and then he did it again. Like, no one has ever relapsed to a bad habit. It took me 8 years to quit smoking. I mean, everyone who's ever been a drunk, a gambler, a cokehead knows it doesn't happen the first time. I'm not saying do it again. I'm just saying that, you know, I just look at the number of talented political people that we have lost. Spitzer, Weiner, John Edwards, Bill Clinton's second term, Ted Kennedy, you could say. I mean, this country needs to grow up a little. We are losing too much talent. I look at this mayor in Toronto, Rob Ford, his approval rating went up. And there's no rehab. Come on. All right, I got that out of my chest. It's really more about me than you.
But look, I appreciate that sentiment, but this has been too. I'm a little too close to it to kind of.
Well, I'm trying to give you some perspective.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, I mean, I love Lawrence O'Donnell too, but when he was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "What is wrong with you? Could we just stand back from this and take a breath?" All right, let's get you on the subjects you used to talk about and we used to like watching you talk about. Let's talk about Obamacare, because that's the big story in the news. Now, I saw him apologize, or at least the Republicans said it was a half apology. But I've heard you say, when you were in Congress, you were always going for Medicare for all. That was the statement that was kind of...
Well...
And I'm wondering if we had Medicare for all, we wouldn't be going through all these problems.
Well, to some degree, the left and the right agree that the sentence, everyone should keep what they had, was a smart thing to say, because frankly, no. I don't know what the insurance companies are doing in this transaction to begin with, what any insurance companies are. Look, we take our money, we give it to doctors, we give it to nurses and hospitals, and somewhere along the way, an insurance company comes in and takes 25 or 30% of it. And now we're like so outraged that they're going to get a little bit less, or that we're not going to be able to keep that same insurance policy. You shouldn't keep it if it's a crummy policy. Frankly, we don't need these insurance companies to do much of anything. And so here's what's going to eventually happen. My Republican friends are going to say, "Oh, this is outrageous that you can't keep it." We're going to try to figure out a way to construct something that people are going to like. And what they're going to realize is that you ask people who are 59 in this country or 60 in this country whether they're eagerly looking forward to getting Medicare, and they're going to say yes. And the mistake that we might have made here, and I still think it was a mistake, everyone knows what Medicare is. 1 year we make it for people 63, then we put it down to 53, and then 43. Before you know it, the entire country is covered by Medicare. We save a bunch of money. We take the money we were going to give to insurance companies. Instead, we put it into healthcare, and we lower rates. Boom, you got your problem solved right there.
Yeah, I mean...